Good afternoon, everybody. This is Gwiggy from Nerd-O-Rama. Yeah, and I'm going to say my name a lot this time, too. We're here at Tampa Comic Con, Tampa's finest in all fandom. I think we should actually call this Fandom World. That is what's going to be here today, because a lot of great cosplayers already coming in here. There's a purple dragon passing right by us the moment here. This is the main line to get into Tampa Comic Con. I think this is I don't know how many years this has been in existence, at least a decade probably. But a lot of great things here this weekend. Hopefully we're going to get to talk to some of the celebrities. We're definitely going to talk to a lot of cosplayers, comic book vendors, everybody. So total fandomonium is happening here today. And let's see what kind of trouble we can get in here in Tampa today. All right? Alrighty, this is Gwiggy here. We're talking with, yes, I'm going to say my name again because he keeps getting crazy. Every time I say my name, Adam freaks out because I say it all the time. Because it is my name. It's Gwiggy. We're here talking to one of the people here in charge of speed dating. What is your name, miss?
My name's Croy.
Croy? Awesome. First of all, we love your costume as Marty McFly. Very awesome.
Thank you.
When is speed dating and how does this work exactly today?
Well, speed dating panel, it's going to be at 2 o'clock. How it works is everyone's going to sign up, guy list, girl list, and we'll bring in the girls, seat them, then you bring the guys in, and they have between 2 and 3 minutes to speak with all the girls, rotate through, and while they're doing that, they can write their number of preference on a note card. And at the end of the day, we swap their information with each other, and if they had any matches, they contact.
Very, very cool. Alrighty. How long does the actual speed dating last? Does it depend on how many people you have, or?
Yeah, it very much depends on the amount of people, because that also allots how much time they have to speak with each other, but we like to delegate an hour. Yeah.
Is this the first time you're doing this here at Tampa Comic Con?
Yeah, I'm actually hosting the whole thing. This is my first time.
Very cool, very cool. Can you sign us up too, and we can actually interview everybody on camera, maybe? Would that be possible? Alrighty, we're going to try maybe to do this, okay, if we can. We'll be back because we'll still be here at 2 o'clock, hopefully. So, yeah, sign us up here. Put Gwiggy on here for the guys section.
$5 for guys.
I can do that, don't worry. Look at that. Is that okay? We can do that. We're going to do speed dating.
How do you spell your name?
Gwiggy. Not only am I saying my name, I'm also spelling it for people. Don't you love it?
Do it.
Yep.
1:40?
140?
2 o'clock. Registration goes into 1:40.
So when?
Bam, so 1:40.
Look at that. I now am number one.
He is, he's number one guy.
Look at that.
Hey,
So I am the number one guy for speed dating. Yes, I know you're all jealous, but that's me, number one, speed dating. Ladies, aliens, fandomonium people, people with magical powers, beware. You'll be dating this soon. Yes. Okay. Hi, this is Gwiggy with Nerd-O-Rama. We're talking with, what is your name, sir?
Eric Shellman.
Eric Shellman. We saw your booth, and this is obviously a huge zombie book series that you have here called, what is this called? Dead Hunger?
Dead Hunger. Yeah, Dead Hunger series started 2011 with Dead Hunger, the first one. They're all done in a series where the first one is by the main character, Flex Sheridan. That's in his point of view. Second one is by his girlfriend's point of view, Jem Cardoza. Third one is by the Chatsworth couple, so it's their point of view. And the fourth book so far is the first and third person. So it's a long saga. It's going to go to 6 books, but so far it's been very successful and a lot of fun.
So each book basically continues on the story, but just in a different person's point of view, right?
Exactly, right. And the next one's going to be called Dead Hunger 5, Road to California. So that one's going to be kind of cool. Everybody's got their role to play, so...
Very cool. What is the basic premise of the beginning of the book? What happens at the beginning of this? It looks like a zombie apocalypse, I'm assuming, but...
My book is a little bit different because it's very character-based, okay? I focus on the survivors more than the zombies. The zombies have to be there to make the zombie folks happy, and the battles have to take place. But Flex Sheridan he's talking to his sister on the phone, and she starts going off, just nuts. Something's wrong. Hops in his car and drives there. By the time he gets there, the family's dead except for one of his nieces. And his sister is walking around looking like a zombie. But he doesn't want to kill her because he loves her. So he finds a way, wraps her in a bubble pool wrap cover. He ties her on both ends, and he throws her on the back of a trailer because he doesn't know what's going on yet. He thinks he might be able to save her. He takes his niece, he takes her, his girlfriend shows up from Miami, Jem, and they hit it and head north. And this is the beginning of the book, and that's how it starts. They quickly develop their skills in firearms. They hit a evidence locker up in Tallahassee, load up on guns, as many guns and ammo as they can, and that's where they take a story from there. They run into a scientist named Hemp Chatsworth on the way. He is an epidemiologist and also an expert in mechanical engineering, so he helps them devise a lot of cool machines to fight the zombies. So it's kind of a cool series, a lot of fun. I've never had more fun writing a book series, so.
Nice. Now, how did the actual zombies, does it actually explain how the zombies sort of came to pass? Was it like a science experiment gone wrong or just something like that? Or?
Now, that's where the problem is. See, everybody does that.
Yeah.
Mine is, I'm going to give you the answer right now. It comes out in book 2, what happens, but basically, when the Earth was being formed, all sorts of stuff smacks into it. And we're talking asteroids, gases, everything, right? Well, in the core of the Earth, this gas was trapped. At one point, the core, there's a rupture, there's a fissure in the core of the Earth, and it starts emanating out through every pore of the Earth. In fact, they first noticed it by looking at water and noticing tiny, tiny bubbles coming up from every water source. In fact, you could take a cylinder, jam it into the ground, fill it with water, and you'd see tiny bubbles coming out. Those bubbles are what are causing the entire Earth to be affected. Only 90%, and there is a reason that I won't disclose right now, that 10% are immune. And that actually is all logically figured out, too. So
Very cool. That's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
How many more books do you think you could go with? You said you've got 6 now, so.
No, there's 4 now. It's going to be a total of 6. The last one's going to be called Dead Hunger 6 Homecoming. So it's going to be kind of cool. We'll get all of my characters back together, because a couple of them are going to split off for book 5. They're going to get on some Harley Davidsons and head to California to try to find the guy's uncle. So that's what book 5 is about. But I tell you, the people that read this book, they get so freaked out excited about it. Some of them, a lot of them that read Mark Tufo, they read my book series, they put it among the very top of the zombie series they've ever read. So, and all of them have been optioned for film. Every one of my books, in fact, all of them. I have a couple of witch novels, serial killer novels, but my zombie series was the first to be optioned for film. So, yeah, we'll see.
So where can we find your books? Are they available online, Amazon, or anything like that?
You
Or?
can get them on Amazon. You can go to ericshellman.com, and that's one L, Shelman, right? And if you get that on camera, see my name, how it's spelled. But you can go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere online. If you went to a bookstore, you'd have to order it, but they would order it for you. So.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. We look forward to the next 2 of the series. So thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be, yeah. Get on it. You're going to be behind if you don't get on it.
Definitely we will. Thanks so much. Hi, this is Gwiggy with Nerd-O-Rama again. We're talking with gentleman from American Icons, the Museum of Comic Art Incorporated. What is your name, sir?
My name is Richard Teal. I'm on the board of directors.
Okay. When did the American Icons start?
We actually legally incorporated about a month ago, March 14th. We've actually been developing since 2010.
And where are you actually located? Do you have an actual physical museum somewhere here locally, or?
Development project is going to be in Orlando. We're going to be west of Walt Disney in the I-4 192 area. Mm-hmm.
And what exactly started the whole putting the museum together? When did you first start, and what was the main catalyst to get it going?
Well, 4 years ago, a friend of mine wanted to buy an art collection for $100,000.
Wow.
We talked about comic shops and the problems that come with them, the objections that moms have, and we decided to do something educational. The museum is not a Spider-Man, Batman, Scooby-Doo museum. It's actually a museum about the artists who do the work. So the exhibits are going to feature the artists' pictures, their stories, make connections for kids. And like all good museums, you exit through the gift shop, but instead of a gift shop, which nobody enjoys, we want them to exit through an actual comic shop. We want to get moms in the picture. We want to get field trips and schools and all those things in, and tourists. And all of our proceeds, we donate free comics to the school system. We distribute them out right through the school districts and give them free comics, just to get the kids reading. So it's actually a literacy program.
Have you actually gotten any of the other comic book companies on board with this? Obviously because you're focusing on a lot of the artists. How has the response been for most of the comic book companies that you've been talking to?
I'll be honest with you, it's been amazing. So far, 110%. We have not met a single person in the industry yet who didn't have something positive to input. We're an army of volunteers. The artists have all jumped in with both feet. Celebrities, comic book vendors, people on the street. Everyone likes the idea of the pop culture and the comics, but when they find out this is really for the kids are going to be free at the museum, the whole thing's for kids. We're actually going to reach out to the Comics Code Authority, and we're going to ask them if ceremonially, they'll approve the museum. The idea being that we want to show the history of comics to kids too. So.
And one other thing, you say you're focusing mainly on the artist. So any particular artist, just when you get a new artist in there, how are you going to focus on their art specifically? Is you going to just take different pictures that they've done from different comics? I mean, because you said it's not really mainly like a Spider-Man museum or anything like that, but how are you going to focus on the artist and presenting their work out exactly?
Well, the concept design that we're going with right now, the entire museum is laid out like a comic book. So featured artists who have a huge body of work, think of them like a whole page. They have an enormous exhibit. Think of it like panels. So the explanation boxes that tell you this is the exhibit and what it's about will be the little yellow narrator boxes that we're all familiar with in the comics. So depending on the body of their work is how much space they'll need in the museum. And of course the actual works, the art, the books, they'll all be there in the archive. And actually, one of the fun things about the museum is when they're ready to get finished, when they're ready to exit, and when they're going into the gift shop, the last wall they're going to see into the gift shop will be the last page of a comic book. What's the last page of a comic book?
An advertisement.
The exploding gum, the whoopee cushions, the X-ray glasses, the Frankenstein. We're going to have all that.
Very cool.
And then, of course, when you exit, you're done, you're leaving for the day. The last little narrator box is going to be right over the exit. And it's going to say the 3 most famous words in every comic book. To be continued.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That
Very
way
cool.
they'll know to come back and do it again. And that's what it's all about.
Where can people find you online?
AmericanIconsMuseum.com. All one word.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. We hope to see you guys in your new building soon. So hopefully that well works out for you. We get to see you live and in person. We'll come out and see that again, hopefully, too.
Fantastic. We'd hope to have you there. That'd be great. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good
All right. This is Gwiggy with Nerd-O-Rama here. We're with Fierce Comics, a couple of writers for Redneck, Midwalker, and how did the Maniacal Smile. I like the titles for this, too. What is your name, sir?
Hey, I'm Ben Filipiak.
Yeah. And you're the writer for Midwalker and Redneck, or one of the co-writers of Redneck, right?
Yeah, I co-write Redneck Red and write Midwalker.
Can you give us a brief synopsis of Midwalker and how you started this one?
Yeah, it's about a guy who could cross midway between life and the afterlife, and while he's crossing midway between life and the afterlife, it's very euphoric feeling, and it's kind of like a drug overdose for him. And so while he's in that stage, he draws the attention of the underworld, and they come to hunt him down. So they send a henchman, a warrior demon called Grotesque, after him. So he's being hunted down over a 6-issue story, and it all culminates in a rather large battle and a little bit of a realization about what this is doing to him. Yeah. It's been very well received. Very well received. Yeah.
There are only 6 in the series for this one so far?
Yeah. This is a 6-issue story arc, and then whether we go to another story arc or move to another character, that's how we treat a lot of the non-Maniacal Smile titles here. Whereas Smiley's an ongoing series, there's a lot of shorter story arcs for some of the others. Yeah.
And then how did you get involved with Redneck Red, and what's the idea for that one too?
Redneck Red's he's the first radioactive redneck, and Pat Batten, the co-creator, and I worked on him a couple years ago. Same concept. We put him together as a shorter story arc. We aggregated that book into a trade. He got his powers from drinking irradiated moonshine in the Everglades, and this has been a cult favorite in the Tampa Bay area for a little while now. And we are actually looking now at possibly doing another story arc on Red, because we're getting a lot of requests for it. So, but that's been a really popular book for us too.
How many in this series now so far too?
4 issues in the initial story, and it remains to be seen what we do in the next story arc. Yeah.
Not surprised it's popular here in the Tampa Bay area. All the rednecks in here. It's okay. Yeah, definitely. And what is your name, sir? You're in charge of.
My name is Michael Foss. I'm the writer for The Maniacal Smile. And The Maniacal Smile is about a kid that's got the worst power ever, super irritable bowel syndrome, flies on his own thermal propulsion. And he's got an uncle who used to be a hero back in the 80s called Limbs, super arms and legs. That guy cuts him off, forces him to retire, so now he helps his nephew out as quadriplegic man. The -4 is the emblem. And our reviewers pretty much say that we've heard it a lot that we're like South Park meets the Tick, trying to put the comic back in the comic book. It's got the action and the adventure and the romance and all that, but a lot of farting around too.
How did you come up with that idea? That's such an original, interesting, way out there superpower and just idea. How did you come up with that?
Actually, it was created by Robert Rhine, the artist, back when he was in high school. In fact, there's his first drawing, the very first ever, and our omnibus takes it from the first drawing all the way to where it gets good, where I came on board as the writer. And then we got picked up by Fierce Comics. And then we end the omnibus with a shot of us. We were in an Xbox 360 video game called Comic Jumper, The Adventures of Captain Smiley. We did a one-shot crossover with their character, and this is what we look like in the actual video game. Yeah. So, I mean, he came up with the idea in high school. You know, it's a farts, and one of the original bad guys was Condom Man. You know, our earlier stuff was very adult-oriented. But then when we got picked up with Fierce and we realized we're going with a broader audience, we've kind of Shrekkened it out a little bit where it's in there, but it's not going to be quite as blatant. Like, he has to fight his way out of a dolphin orgy in issue 5, but we never come out and say dolphin orgy.
But it is the comic industry's first dolphin orgy. So yeah.
And the comic industry's first original smiley-faced hero. Patented in 1997. Check the copyright.
So, what does the future hold for you guys? Any other new characters you guys are both working on at all? Or?
Oh my goodness, we've got a list that can go out 5 years of development. So we have plenty of material to work on.
It's a lottery. We're going to have a lot more space next year.
Yeah, right. Right. So, new material is not an issue. It's time to create it, really. And we're starting to try to branch out a little bit into other products. We have a Maniacal Smile board game now. We launched at MegaCon and was hugely successful there. So we're seeing a lot of desire for non-comics products, T-shirts, so the board game, other things like that. We're going to try to branch out so we have some other products because we do have very marketable characters, and we're going to try to show that a little bit more than we have in the past. And I wouldn't be a good publisher if I didn't point out the fact that we did have the Fierce store at fiercestore.com or at the Fierce Comics website, fiercecomics.com. You can get to our store link. All of our products are available there, too. Yeah.
That was going to be my next question, is where can we find you online? But I appreciate it. That's awesome. Well, listen, we appreciate you guys talking to us. Enjoy the rest of the con. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, we found one of the most interesting booths here. The thing that caught our eye, since it is like National Who Year, we found the Weeping Angels. So if you're watching this video, don't blink. And let's see. These are fantastic here. We're here with the creator here. Ma'am, what is your name?
My name's Heather Rainier.
And what is the name of your business that you're here?
This is Wonderland Creations.
And you said you created everything here. You've sewn all these yourself?
Yep, I've sewn all of these myself, so I designed all of the patches here. That's pretty much it.
What got you started this event originally?
Okay, I am a gigantic Deadpool fan, but way back, before he was cool, they made absolutely nothing. So I decided to make a toy. I made it and sat it up here, and everybody came by and said, "Can I buy that?" And I'm like, "No, it's mine." And then by the 4th or 5th time, I suddenly realized, you know what? I could probably make another one. That was it.
And how long have you been doing this total now?
Oh, man, now I feel old. Like, maybe 6-7 years, something like that.
Do you go to a lot of the conventions or what?
I am everywhere. If anybody has been here around Florida, they have seen my face, unfortunately.
And do you have an actual store anywhere in the Florida area that you sell these out of, or just online or anything?
Mostly online. We're an Etsy shop. It's wonderlandcreations.etsy, but we actually are over in this little store, if you guys are near UCF, called Anime Orlando. We have a couple of our hats and toys.
Well, we wish you the best. Thank you so much for talking. We won't keep you too long because we realize you're very busy here. Still working on dinosaurs, so.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Hold up a Weeping Angel.
And don't blink. Don't blink. Don't look away. Not even for a second. You'll end up in the 1960s with a plush 1960s. That'll happen.